a jaw-dropping report released by the Department of Economic Security.
The report says the state paid out $5.8 billion in unemployment money to fraudulent accounts during the pandemic. So to put this massive number into perspective and tell us what on earth went wrong, Fox 10's Steve Nielsen is live outside of DES. Steve.
Yeah, here's your perspective on this here this evening. How much does $5.8 billion amount to? Well, you could run the entire state budget of Arizona for 6 months with it. We sat down one-on-one with the director of the state agency and asked him what happened. As the pandemic spread, unemployment claims went through the roof, eventually hitting nearly 3 million in July 2020. That's when the director of the Department of Economic Security, Michael Weishart, tells me they stepped in to stop what was obviously many fraudulent applications.
And at every turn, when we were adding a fraud prevention measure, we were contemplating what it meant for eligible individuals.
And we spoke to hundreds of real people who were impacted by those fraud measures over the last year.
You guys helped me to put it out there that there's a problem and it needs to be fixed.
A punishment, you somewhat feel like it's a punishment.
Well, the 5 hours and 40 minutes went to like 6 hours.
In total, though, those steps like ID verification prevented $75 billion in fraud payments in Arizona alone, according to DES. $5.8 billion in taxpayer dollars was paid out, though. Residents receiving unemployment cards in the mail without asking for them contacted us wanting more fraud prevention sooner.
And that was why I called you. Something should have happened before now.
The balance wasn't perfect, but we prevented $75 billion worth of fraud from going out.
The state has now recouped $1.4 billion, and 200 cases have been submitted to the Attorney General, with 100 leading to criminal indictments.
We're working with the CIA, the FBI, the Secret Service, the Border Patrol, law enforcement, local law enforcement at all levels. It's really extensive, the amount of law enforcement activity that's engaged in trying to bring individuals that committed this fraud to justice and to recoup these dollars.
And after our 4 p.m. report on this story aired, we heard from a spokesperson for the governor's office that tells us any amount of fraud is too much and completely unacceptable. That being said, the governor's office says DES did an excellent job in preventing $75 billion in fraud. So how did they figure out how much fraud they actually paid out during all of this? Tax forms. We'll break down that for you coming up at 6 o'clock, and also ask the director why Arizona was targeted more than other states last summer. Reporting live tonight, Steve Nielsen, Fox 10 News.